Hey guys, so I bought this Pixel 6 a few days back, and in this video I'm going to share my experience with you all so you will know whether is it worth buying this phone in 2024. So this phone is getting closer to 3 years of age now, and let's see what's it like to own one of these in 2024. First, let's talk about some of the key things that you should know about this phone. So this is the very first Pixel that came with Google's own chip, which is the Google Tensor Generation 1. And also this is the very first Google Pixel that features the visor type camera bar, which is the signature Pixel camera bulb style right now. Since this phone was released as a budget flagship, Google had to cut some corners with certain stuff, guys. For example, you get a 90Hz display instead of 120Hz, thicker bezels, and an optical fingerprint scanner instead of an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. Personally, those are not much of a deal breaker for me, considering it was a flagship that was released for a lower price compared to the competition. And by the way, I really like this two-tone backside of this phone along with the visor. It gives a retro Robocop type of vibe, which looks so cool. And also this phone stands out from all the same boring looking smartphone these days, by the way. Alright, let's talk about the battery life. I was able to get about 5.5 hours of screen on time after a full charge. That's considerably a decent screen on time since this is a almost 3-year-old phone now. I got the 5.5 hours of screen on time for all the things I tested, which I'm going to cover in this video. And when I did this test, I was using Wi-Fi majority of the time and very less of mobile data. And I also kept the brightness of this phone somewhere around 50% most of the time, and I did not do any kind of gaming in this test. Now let's talk about how smooth this phone still is. Currently this Pixel is running on Android 14 and most of the time the phone is smooth. I said that because sometimes I did notice some scroll lag on certain apps. Take a look at these clips in 60 FPS guys and get an idea. Now, even though this display is 90Hz, you might think it's 120Hz unless you're scrolling up and down like really fast, and then you will see the screen tearing. Apps like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok and YouTube just work fine on this phone with minimal lag, but I did notice more lag in apps like Reddit, Google Play Store, IMDb and LinkedIn. By the way, these apps could lag on most all Android phones because either they are too heavy to run on any Android phone, or if not, they are not well optimized for a smooth experience. I feel like this is an important thing that you need to know, like how smooth or laggy all phones are when you're buying them. So I make sure to cover that in my videos. In terms of the user interface, you get the very basic version of Android 14 and you do not get too many features like in a Samsung or a Xiaomi phone. So the customization on this phone is very minimal, but you do get the basic Android stuff you will need for your day-to-day work, and also you get some fun Google stuff like as well, like the object eraser in the gallery. And by the way guys, you will get OS updates till at least October 2024 and security updates till at least October 2026. Now let's talk about the camera setup. This is where things get really interesting. Keep in mind this is a budget flagship, so you would think that they may have included a cheaper camera sensors, but that's not the case over here. I mean, holy moly, the camera performs so good and beyond expectations. The pictures just come out perfect, and Google has been doing a really good job in terms of camera performance with this phone. Take a look at this daytime sample guys. These look really good in my opinion and very pleasant to look at. And these are some shots that I took during the night. This is a video that I captured during daytime. And this is the same place at night. This is a selfie that I took with the phone, and this is a video that I captured with the selfie cam. Now, apart from all that, I want to talk about some of the things that I don't like as well, because I paid for this phone and you all should know this as well if you're planning on buying this. First, the most annoying thing about this phone for me is the button layout. Since this power button is on the top, I always ended up pressing the power button when I wanted to press the volume up button. Why did they do that? I mean, so many people are going to press it mistakenly, thinking that is the volume up button. And while talking about the volume, the second thing I don't like that it doesn't have a silent ring toggle on the notification panel. So I always had to press a volume key and then I had to touch the ring to silent button that appears after to change the phone from ring to silent. And third, the notification panel itself. The icons do take a lot of space, and the complete set of notification buttons could have been added to the panel in a smaller format. Also guys, this phone can get heated up pretty quickly. Even when you're downloading apps or just browsing the web, sometimes I notice too much of heat coming from this phone. Mostly I notice the heat coming from the size of the frame, which is quite annoying and unusual from my experience. And finally, the fingerprint. Well, it takes a second to scan since it's an optical scanner, but come on guys, it's a very important thing that we all use all the time, so it has to be faster. By the way, if I got any of this wrong, please let me know down in the comment section below. Now, when it comes down to the price, I bought this Pixel 6 for 60,000 Sri Lankan rupees, which is a very reasonable price for a used Pixel 6, and this phone over here is in excellent condition. You can check for deals on Facebook Marketplace or on any other sites that you're familiar with for buying and selling, and you should be able to find one in pristine condition for yourself as well. So there you go, Pixel 6 in 2024. Is it still worth it? Well, yeah, it kinda is. You get a flagship for a very reasonable price. It does look a bit outdated with the big bezels and all, but the overall performance, the camera, bro, this is a solid phone. But definitely you should consider what I said about the things that I don't like about this phone as well guys. If you're buying this, those things kind of annoy you too. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button guys. It really does help the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again on the next one.